afternoon, viewers. You're watching Forces Fest, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you, bringing you all the biggest stories from the world of defense this week, viewers. And of course, always Republic TV keeping the forces first, viewers. So we start without wasting any time with the top story in this edition of Forces First, viewers. It is big news for India-Russia defense ties, viewers. The cooperation is only intensifying after the SCO summit and of course the meetings that were held prior to it, viewers. India is building its cutting-edge SU-57, that is the SU-57 fifth generation stealth fighter jets right here in India. That's the plan, at least Russia is thinking of it. This under the Make in India initiative. The SCO summit is all about the Eurasian powers flexing their unity, especially against the US-led global order, and Modi-Putin talks fit right. Russia's exploration of setting up Su-57 production in India is diving deep into what it would take, the money, the logistics, and the infrastructure to set up production at places like Hindustan Aeronautics Limited or other Indian facilities. It's a perfect fit for India's push to become self-reliant in defense manufacturing. The proposal, viewers, includes deep collaboration with Russian agencies eyeing investments for a joint venture that could see India assembling and customizing the Sukhoi 57 jets with indigenous avionics and weapon systems. A team is being sent here to in fact survey and understand, gauge the situation so that the deal can be struck. Now, viewers, this aligns perfectly with India's push for self-reliance in defense manufacturing, Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense, aiming for technology transfers, job creation and reduced dependency on imports, especially given the current scenario, viewers. And this strategic partnership could position India as a global hub for SU-57 exports, boosting its role in international defense market. Okay, we have Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor joining us on the broadcast to understand more about this. Thanks so much, Marshal Kapoor. This is, of course, good news if it does materialize. You know, India's own AMCA is going to take a lot of time. There has been a lot of talks about should India go for the SU-57 or not, for the Su-57 or not. But now, this report that is emerging, that it could be that India will be jointly producing this aircraft, this fighter jet with Russia. How do you read into this?
See, it will be a game changer. And I have been covering on your channel also that the Pakistanis are likely to get J-35s from China. And once they get the fifth generation fighters, the warfare is going to change. India's AMCA is going to take another 10 years to be operationalized, though the prototype, they say, would be flying by 2030. Now, Su-57, for benefit of your viewers, is a proven combat aircraft with the Russian Air Force, which has taken part in combating Ukraine and Syria. And it's half the price of F-35. Operating cost is just about $15,000 to $20,000 per hour, which is also less than about $40,000 operating cost. It's exported to Algeria. It's highly agile, and the speed is around 2 Mach. Though F-35, which is the American version, which if you recall, when the Prime Minister had visited US, the US President had offered, and which was at Trivandrum Airfield for many days a few months ago, is another option which we have. But going by the past, the hand-holding which the Russians have done, the Su-30 test beds and mechanisms and the overalls which we have, India has also been, overhauling and manufacturing and assembling the Russian platforms for years together, be it MiG-21s or Su-30s or their variants. So India is having the similar kind of facilities to manufacture Su-57. Now, considering that it is going to be a new venture and the push for Atmanirbhar and the increased role of the private sector, I'm sure if this thing is offered to us with the full transfer of technology and the source code, to modify the weapons and the radars as per our requirement. Then the private sector of India, the defense manufacturing, be it Tata's, Adani's, Mahindra's, Dynamatics, Bharat Forge. There are a huge number of big companies now which have entered into defense. And I'm sure some portion of manufacturing would be offered to them as outsourced. And large number of MSMEs have come up in India, be it manufacturing of C295 or NCA projects. So I'm sure all this would be a wonderful change. And this aeroplane, for benefit of your viewers, flies at the speed of Mach 2, has a super cruise facility with thrust vectors, and it can carry 18 weapons, 6 internal and 12 external. So this was both F-35s and Su-30 came to Bangalore for Aero Show this year. So your channel and others had covered it widely. So in my opinion, this would be a wonderful thing if we get the way it is being covered in the news.
And sir, very quickly I want to understand from you, how do you see this increased cooperation between Russia and India? Of course, the highs and lows continue with the United States. Yes, India is conducting a military exercise with the United States as well. The defense ties remain very, very important. But how do you see in these changing times and the, multiple challenges that India is today facing in the current scenario, how do you see with this defense cooperation, this boost in the ties? Because we've seen cooperation when jointly India produced, the BrahMos jointly with the, with Russia and other ammunition like the rifles. You feel that this is, India and Moscow, New Delhi and Moscow ties are very, very important, and it should be, it should even get in India, a boost for its Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense.
Absolutely. There is no doubt in anybody's mind that the country which has held our hand ever since independence is erstwhile USSR and now Russia. They have been the only ones who have willingly parted with this technology which the others, especially the Western countries, have withheld. It could be in nuclear field, it could be in missiles, it could be like we covered in BrahMos, it could be in space. If you recall, Rakesh Sharma and others were the first cosmonauts being trained. And there is a large help and support from Russia initially to develop our nuclear reactors, to develop our space. So the bonding between the two countries is historic. And President Putin has been in power since year 2000 in various capacities. So he's brought out Russia from an era where the Russia, after disintegration of USSR, was in very, very poor condition economically and otherwise. In last 25 years, he has tried to bring up the country out and made it a huge manufacturing hub. They also are looking for countries which require their equipment. They are modernizing. And this Ukraine war, which they are going in for the last about 3+ years, has given them some invaluable lessons, which I'm sure India will tend to gain and benefit with this expertise which the Russians have. Right. And I'm sure they will be willing to share with that.
Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Forces First. Viewers, now we shift our focus to the other big story. Operation Sindoor, viewers, stands as a testament to the Indian Army's strategic brilliance, Indian Forces' strategic brilliance and unwavering courage. And yet, many of its stories remain untold. Now, speaking at a book launch, the book was by Lieutenant General KGS Dillon on Operation Sindoor. And the Chief of our Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, delivered a powerful insights on the enduring impact of Operation Sindoor beyond the intense 88-hour execution. Now, the Chief of Army Staff revealed that Operation Sindoor, which extended past the 10th of May, note, he said that this war extended beyond 10th of May. And that it was more than a fleeting strike, with its ripple effects reshaping regional security dynamics long after the operation, viewers, that concluded. General Dwivedi explains how the Indian Army moved with rhythmic precision across the line of control, synergizing seamlessly from soldier to commander alongside civil and state authorities to deliver a focused measure, yet unrelenting strike on terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan, viewers. This, of course, is a very, very important statement by General Dwivedi. Let's listen in.
23rd April till 16th May. You may be thinking that 10th May the war finished. No, it continued for a long time because so many decisions were to be taken. And beyond that, of course, it will be difficult for me to share here. So when to start, when to stop, how much to apply in terms of time, space and resources, and how much or what is the definition of calibrated. All these things are something which we kept on discussing at every point of time. Why? Because this time there were no precedences. Starting from 23rd April till 16th May. You may be thinking that 10th May the war finished. No, it continued for a long time because so many decisions were to be taken. And beyond that, of course, it will be difficult for me to share here. So when to start, when to stop, how much to apply in terms of time, space and resources, and how much or what is the definition of calibrated. All these things are something which we kept on discussing at every point of time. Why? Because this time there were no precedences. लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पे क्या हालात हैं और क्या असर पड़ा है, मेरे ख्याल से ये बहुत ही छोटा वक्त है इस चीज के बारे में बातचीत करने का, क्योंकि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर तो अभी कुछ दिन पहले खत्म ही हुआ। इसको हमें लंबे समय के दूरबीन से देखना पड़ेगा। आज की तारीख में आप देखें क्या स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म खत्म हुआ है, तो मुझे तो ऐसा नहीं लगता। क्यों? क्योंकि अभी भी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन अटेम्प्ट लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल के ऊपर हुए हैं और कितने हम लोगों ने टेररिस्ट मार गिराए हैं और कितने लोग वापस भाग गए हैं, वो आप लोगों ने खुद ही मीडिया में इसको कवर किया हुआ। So in Op Sindoor, this was something which was an untold story. And as you are aware that by mistake when the list came out from the opposite side that how many have been given the posthumous awards, I can say that most of the credit should go to the line of control. So that is how it began. To the extent that when we got some kind of a small excerpts, it said, बहुत हुआ, फाइल छोड़ो, जल्दी से मुजफ्फराबाद भागो.
And shedding light on India's military strategy, viewers, is Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan at an event in Gorakhpur, where he drew a sharp contrast between the lessons learned post the 2016 Uri and 2019 Pulwama attacks, viewers, and the operation that followed. General Chauhan highlighted how the Balakot airstrikes marked a turning point for India and pushing our forces to sharpen the long-range precision strike capabilities and post-strike damage assessment. But it's the details of Operation Sindoor that are again grabbing the headlines. General Chauhan in detail has outlined how the Indian Air Force was unleashed this time with full operational freedom to plan and execute the airstrikes with a clear mandate: destroy the targets, retaliate only if attacked. Now, the key point being why India chose to go beyond drones, beyond loitering munitions during this operation, Operation Sindoor, and why the lethal action against Pakistan-backed terrorists required air power.
विविधता की बात करें तो हर एक बार एक ही अगर हम स्ट्रैटेजी इस्तेमाल करें तो उसमें कभी सरप्राइज या डिसेप्शन नहीं होगा। आपको पता है 16 के अंदर 2016 के अंदर जब उड़ी के टेरर अटैक हुए थे और सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हुई थी, तो हम लोग ने जमीनी सहारा लिया था। जमीन के रास्ते से पाकिस्तान की सीमा में गए थे और उनके टेररिस्ट कैंप्स को हमने जो है न बर्बाद किया था। उसके बाद पुलवामा का अटैक हुआ था, तो हम लोग ने जो है बालाकोट के अंदर जो स्ट्राइक की थी खैबर पख्तूनवा में, जो कश्मीर से लगा हुआ है, उसमें हवाई सहारा लिया था, हवाई जहाज की मदद ली थी। जब पहलगाम हुआ तो हमारे पास में जो विकल्प था, जो हमारे पास था, जिसके अंदर सरप्राइज हो सकती थी, और ये जो था क्योंकि हमने बालाकोट के बाद अपनी क्षमताएं बढ़ाई थी, लॉयटर एमिनेशन की, प्रिसीजन स्ट्राइक्स हथियारों की, तो हम लोग चाहते थे कि लोअर एयर स्पेस में लॉयटर एमिनेशन और ड्रोन से जो है उनका इस्तेमाल करें। इससे जो है सरप्राइज भी रहेगा, क्योंकि एक नई योजना रहेगी और इससे जो है तनाव बढ़ने के खतरे को भी कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है।
Also, CDS General Chauhan listed out the biggest challenges before India, the biggest security challenges, and in fact, what tops the list is India's border dispute with China. He stressed that challenges before India are not momentary, they exist in different forms, and at present the boundary dispute with China is India's biggest challenge and will continue to remain so. Remember, this comes in after the latest border talks between India and China. Listen into CDS General Chauhan.
चुनौतियाँ जो हैं वो क्षणिक नहीं होती हैं, वह निरंतर बदलते स्वरूप में आती हैं। इसलिए मैं उनमें से कुछ ठोस चुनौतियों के बारे में आपसे बात करना चाहता हूँ, जिसका सामना भारत आज कर रहा है और मेरे विचार में भविष्य में भी करता रहेगा। और इसमें सबसे पहली चुनौती जो है वो सीमा विवाद के बारे में है, जिसके कारण जो है भारत में जब से हम आज़ादी मिली है तब से लेकर के काफ़ी सारी जो हैं लड़ाइयाँ 47 की, 62 की, 65 की, ये लड़ाइयाँ जो हैं इसी का परिणाम है। और इसमें भी मैं ये चीन के साथ जो हमारा सीमा विवाद है उसको मैं मुख्य मानता हूँ, और ये जो असुलझा सीमा विवाद चीन के साथ है उसे मैं सबसे बड़ी चुनौती मानता हूँ।
And we have Defence Expert Major General Rajan Kochar joining us on the broadcast. Very good morning to you, sir. And General Kochar, well, we have seen that there has been a very, a cautious thaw in the ties, resetting, so to speak, a cautious resetting of tie between New Delhi and Beijing. There have been border talks between NSA Doval and Wang Yi. And we've seen that there has been a lot of bonhomie in China when it comes to India and China, at the SCO, sir. But, we have to remember the reality. And I think CDS General Chauhan has made it very, very clear that the border issue with China continues to be a very, very critical threat.
Thank you for inviting me to this discussion. Sir. I think CDS Chauhan has shown us the mirror because the concerns on the border are genuine. The kind of information we have of the Chinese built up on the border, especially the PLA, and if you have a look at Gongsu area where bridges actually come up and switching off forces for the Chinese from north to south of the lake will take about 30-45 minutes. Earlier it used to take 5 to 6 hours. And if you see the build-up which the Chinese are doing on their own side of the border, and also they are building up a rail connectivity right from Akshaichin onto that Tibet area. So it clearly actually suggests that Chinese are preparing for an offensive. They may talk peace right now because it suits them, because the world is undergoing a churning. There is a churning in the geopolitics today, and with the tariff issues also happening from the United States. But we should also consider whenever we speak to the Chinese, the boundary dispute has to be our first priority, because unless we address these issues, they cannot be lasting peace between the two countries. So that has to be understood. And I think CDS Chauhan is making it absolutely clear. We may go ahead with the normalization of relations with the China. We may go ahead with our trade and exchange of people. The flights are also starting now. But this border issue, especially the working mechanism, WMCC, and the special representative talks must continue. And not only continue, we must move forward, because right now I see that Chinese are only doing lip service. No concrete proposals have come for de-induction, de-escalation and disengagement. So these have to be done in a very, very sequential manner. We have to go in for the disengagement first.
Yep.
Last year, October 2024, there were talks with the Chinese. There was a mentioning of disengagement. But when I talked to the people on ground, they tell me not much has happened except for a few kilometers they have gone back.
Okay.
And you need to understand one thing. The Chinese communication and the infrastructure is so good. Even if they move back 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers, they can come back to the places they have left in a matter of hours. So we cannot take the Chinese.
Right, sir. All right, seems to have lost that network, but thank you so much, General Kochhar, for joining us on Republic TV with your insights on this big story that we're tracking. And viewers, now, India has unveiled a very ambitious 15-year defense roadmap, a multi-billion-dollar plan to transform its armed forces from nuclear-powered warships to AI-driven weapons and hypersonic missiles. Republic TV learns that the strategy aims to bolster the Army, the Navy and the Air Force with cutting-edge technology to counter global threats, viewers. The report suggests that this roadmap is placing a strong focus on cyber defense, satellite-based communications, electronic denial bubbles and anti-swarm drone systems. And such measures are designed to secure India's military networks while providing tactical superiority across domains. Now, the move comes just days after Defence Minister Rajnath Singh highlighted at the Ran Samvad in Madhya Pradesh that the strategy will help in adapting to a rapidly changing world and technological landscape that ensures that our forces stay ahead in countering global and regional threats, viewers. In fact, we'll go through the details of the blueprint via the graphics, viewers, because this is how India is going to be future war ready. This is going to be the blueprint of the future, viewers. This is a push for self-reliance, and of course, this is a mega military upgrade for the next 15 years. If you can just show and list out the plan for the next 15 years.
When I talk about changing technology and the changing world, it becomes very necessary that we also adapt our forces according to the changing world. For this, I have seen told that our army has taken the initiative for the formation of the Rudra Brigade. Friends, I would also like to say a few things about our Navy technological progress. During Operation Sindoor, the way our Navy maintained strategic positions which limited the enemy's movement completely in the Arabian Sea. Such numerous platforms and infrastructure are not only being included in the Navy, but are also strengthening it. Similarly, the Indian Air Force is also continuously strengthening itself by inducting everything from long-range missiles to next-generation beyond visual range weapons.
So this is the 15-year defense roadmap, viewers. This starts with army modernization. 1,800 main battle tanks is the plan, and 400 light tanks will be also now included. 6 lakh artillery rounds. This is part of army modernization. 700 robotic counter IED systems. So the robotic systems will also be deployed, and 1 aircraft carrier for the Navy as well. 10 next generation destroyers, and you know that there's a big upgrade as far as India's naval power is concerned. 7 advanced corvettes are also in the works. 4 landing dock platforms, part of the priorities for Navy, and electronic aircraft launch systems also is a part of the upgrade. Talking about the Air Force, very important, 20 stratospheric airships is part of this vision for Air Force. 350 multi-mission drones, very important. Drones played a big role in Operation Sindoor, remember, viewers. High-power laser systems and 75 high-altitude pseudo-satellites. Remember, satellites play a very important role, especially when you conduct strikes like we did during Operation Sindoor, viewers. Now we quickly move forward to the other big stories, viewers. Another testament to the Indian Army's remarkable courage, viewers, and valor. On the night of 4th September, at an unforgiving altitude of over 17,000 feet in Ladakh, the Army Aviation Wing executed a daring high-altitude rescue mission to save two South Korean nationals stranded at the Kongmaru La Pass in the treacherous terrains of Ladakh. The mission required a precise NVG landing, as you can see on the screens, at an unprepared helipad, demanding exceptional piloting skills and situational awareness. Braving the icy winds, near-zero visibility and snow-laden ridgelines, the Army's helicopter squadron, equipped with night vision goggles, performed a precision landing on an unprepared helipad, a feat that demanded unparalleled skill and nerves of steel. This heart-pounding operation, completed under the cover of darkness, showcased the Indian Army's unmatched operational prowess in one of the world's harshest environments, viewers. From delivering food to flood-ravaged regions, executing high-risk evacuations, the Indian Army continues to embody the spirit of sacrifice and bravery. All right, viewers. And we come to the final segment of Forces First. In the face of relentless flash flood, viewers, ravaging North India, the Indian Army has once again proven its mettle, spearheading the rescue operations with unwavering resolve from the muddy deluge of Uttarakhand's Dharali village to the swollen rivers of Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. Army personnel alongside NDRF, SDRF and ITBP have braved the treacherous terrains, adverse weather to save lives, deploying over 150 troops, drones, tracker dogs, advanced all-terrain vehicles. They've evacuated hundreds, restored critical connectivity and provided medical aid and supplies to those stranded, viewers. Here's a closer look at those valorous operations, viewers, as we say goodbye and Jai Hind.